What's up, YouTube? The Rain Man here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the next event that comes to us doing, which is going to be the Hall of Heroes. This is a event that they do once a month, and it just gives you a chance to get a 4-star monster that you may or may not have, or you may want to skill up another one. But this month, the Hall of Heroes is going to be the Water Barbaric King. It's going to be starting on July 14th, and at 12 p.m. and running through July 17th at 12 a.m. This is all according to server time, which is about 3 hours behind East Coast. So it's West Coast time. The dungeon is going to be located in the Kairos dungeons. The Hall of Heroes will be located in the Kairos dungeon. It will consist of 10 floors. As you complete each floor, of course, you get 5 crystals, and you also get 25 pieces. To summon the Barbarian King, you will need 50 pieces. You only run the floor one time. So, total you will end up with is 250 pieces. If you can run all 10 of them, you'll get 250 pieces. Which means you can summon 5 of them. So, you can summon 1, awaken it, use the other 4, make it a 5-star, and you got 4 skill ups. If you want to use the water one. So, but as I said at the bottom, the Hall of Heroes is very difficult. If you got some really good rep monsters and you're still early game, you can use a rep monster that might can carry you through the first 2 floors. So maybe you can get those 50 pieces to get it. But like I said, you're going to need some really tanky and hard-hitting monsters. Fast, hard-hitting monsters more than likely. So, but anyway, let's go look at the Barbarian King, which I actually have him. So whenever I go through my... Oh, there we go. There he is. I'm not even going to try and butcher that name. I'm really not. Aegir. We'll call him that. Okay. So his skills. First skill. Attacks the enemy with an axe to inflict 2 continuous damage effects for 1 turn with a 50% chance. So he hit the enemy he hits 1 enemy 1 time and gets 2 dots on him. Not too bad. Alright, second skill. Attacks an enemy with a wrathful axe, leaving a branding effect for 2 turns and increasing your attack bar by 50%. The target with a branding effect will receive 25% increased damage. So if they got a branding on them, they actually get more damage. Now this is a 2-turn branding, and if the skill is max skilled, it's a 2-turn cooldown. So you can keep the brand on a monster with this move if you wanted to. Third skill. Attacks the enemy 2 times. So it's still single target moves. With each strike having a 25% chance to steal 1 beneficial effect from the enemy. When this attack is on cooldown, your attack speed increases and you recover 10% HP every turn. So, with this skill, it says it's got a 4-turn cooldown. Max skill is going to be a 3-turn. So if this may be a skill that you don't want maxed out. You may want it maxed out, you may not. It's going to be one of those darned if you do, darned if you don't type scenarios. Because as long as it's on cooldown, you gain 10% HP and you have a speed increase. But the sooner it comes off cooldown, the sooner you can steal beneficial effects off the enemy. Like say if they got a Chloe, throws out that immunity and the invincibility. He can actually steal both those off of Chloe and make her open to be hit and hurt. So that's an option there. It has a leader skill. The HP of all allied monsters is increased by 33% in guild battles. Not that, probably not going to be used a whole lot. If you do take him into guild battles, you're probably not taking him for his leader skill. So, but at least he has one if you need one. If you're lacking guild battle leader skills, you probably can get one off of this guy. So if you have a bunch of tanky monsters, you use him. He's actually going to be hitting hard. More than likely, this guy's going to be built for attack. So, he'll be giving HP to everybody else, and they can maybe keep him alive while he's doing all the damage. It's a thought. So, but like I said, as for what he's got, like I said, he's got 1 first skill, single target, and double dots. Second skill is also a single target, has a 2-turn brand, and it increases your attack bar by 50%. So like I said, and with the max skill, is two-turn cooldown, so he can basically keep the brand on somebody if you wanted to. Third skill is a single target. It hits twice and can still a beneficial effect off of the enemy with each hit. So, like I said, and of course on cooldown, you get speed boost and 10% recovery. So I said that's you could probably this guy's got he's got a decent kit. His moveset is just pretty decent. It's like I say he's still gonna be as he ranks across the other Barbarian Kings. He's kind of in the middle. He's tied for second with the highest HP. I think it's him and the Wind Barbarian King. Both have the second highest HP. Whenever he is awakened, he gets an accuracy boost. So with his accuracy, it's going to help him put the brand on him, put the dots on the enemy, and still has beneficial effects. So now all of his moves are single target. So that's going to be that's one bad side to him. He's only going to be hitting one monster. He's also tied for the second lowest attack of the Barbarian Kings. So there's only one monster has a lower attack than him. He's kind of in the middle with the defense. He's tied for the third highest of the defense of the Barbarian Kings. So if you were to build this guy, more than likely, if you're heavy in the giants, you probably want to put some swift runes on him. If you're doing a lot of dragons, you might want to put some violent runes on him. Probably put some focus, that way you can actually put the brand, the dots, and still the beneficial effects off of them. More than likely, you're probably going to build him maybe speed, attack, or speed, attack, accuracy. Personally, I'm not big on the accuracy in slot 6. The accuracy and resistance, I'm not big on that. I get the accuracy from the substats. So, of course, me, if I'm building him, it's going to be speed, attack, and I'm going to try to be looking for accuracy subs. And, of course, if I'm using focus runes, I'm going for focus runes with accuracy on them already in one of the subs. So, another idea is probably put revenge runes on him. He does have dots on that first move, so if he gets hit, he's going to hit. There's a chance for him to hit back and put dots on the enemy. So he's going to hurt them with his move and put dots on them. So that's also a possibility. Now, his brothers. These are going to be interesting. Because I said, some people are not big on the Barbarian Kings. Some are. It all depends on who you talk to and who's using them. I know I got a fire one. It's 5-star. I did use him for quite a bit. There we go. But like I said, I've not done a whole lot with him. So he's still sitting in storage right now. So the Fire Barbarian King. He has attacks the enemy with continuous damage for 2 turns. Throws an axe and stuns the enemy for 1 turn with 80% chance. And recovers his HP by 30% of the inflicted damage. So the harder he hits, the more HP he recovers. Third move, strikes the enemy with an axe. If the target has less than 50% HP, the damage is increased by 50%. When his attack is on cooldown, he gets the attack speed and HP recovery, just like the water one. And the thing got really blocky. Okay. Of course, with the water one, that's the one I got. There's the wind one, which, there we go, there's the wind. Similar, he's got a attack on. Why is it dotting up so bad? I mean, it's so pixelated. Why is it pixelating now? It's been pretty clear the whole time here when I was doing all this. But it's getting the information together, and now that I'm actually doing something, there we go, it's cleared up. Alright. That's just weird. Alright. So there we go. Alright, the wind one. He's got, of course, attacks him with an axe, 2 continuous damage effects. Attacks him with a wrathful axe, leaving a branding effect for 2 turns. So he's got a branding move just like the water one. Becomes possessed with unstoppable rage and attacks all enemies. So he's got an AoE move. Increases the attack power and attack speed of all allies for 2 turns. And just like the other ones, when it's on cooldown, it gets attack speed increase and it recovers 10% HP. And the light one. Of course, you got dots on the first skill. Has a branding effect on the second skill, just like the water one. Third skill, attacks an enemy target, depleting its attack bar and stunning it for 1 turn. So it actually can hit you to take away your attack bar and stun you. So of course, just like the other ones, attack speed increase and HP recovery every turn when this skill's on cooldown. The dark one. This is the one I hate to see in guild battles, or anywhere actually. Of course, you got attacks the enemy with dots for two continuous damage. Alright, and his third one, Axe of Punishment. Throws an axe and stuns the enemy for 1 turn with 80% chance. Recovers your HP by 30% of the inflicted damage. Alright, and Frenzy. Enrages and attacks an enemy target. You instantly recover a turn and prevent this attack from going on cooldown with a 40% chance. So with a 40% chance, this guy will go again. So this guy's brutal when you come across him. Because I said it's a 40% chance of him going again. I've seen this guy go 4 times and destroy my guild battle team. So keep that in mind. This guy's gonna be tough when you face him on the floors. Of course, like the other ones, he has the attack speed increase and HP recovery while it's on cooldown. So like I said, if you build the water one, great. More than likely, if you're lucky enough to have a dark one or a light one, these are probably the ones you're going to use the water one to skill up. More than likely. I said the water one's not a bad one. I think the water one's probably going to be best used, probably more likely in dragons, because it does have a strip and it does have a brand. Now, when it comes to the Hall of Heroes itself, when you take it on the floors, since this is a water Hall of Heroes, the first wave is going to be fire, more than likely. Considering that the fire one has the highest defense, you may want to bring a defense break. May help take out some of those monsters there. I said the fire was probably going to be paired off with a water monster, more than likely. So not sure who that would be. So this is all speculation. I don't know anything about this Hall of Hero, about the monsters we end up facing, other than that there's going to be Barb Kings on the floors. On wave 2, it's going to be wind. The wind one does have high resistance. He's got the highest resistance. Him and the dark one have the highest resistance of the Barb Kings. So you know, keep that in mind as well when you're taking on the wind. You get the wave 2. Then there's going to be the mini boss. Considering that this is a water Hall of Heroes, the mini boss is probably going to be a water 5-star, and it's probably going to be paired off with probably 2 fire 4-stars. Of course, that speculation could be 2 wind 4-stars. Who knows? But not sure who the mini boss would be. If it was me putting it together, chances are I might do a Desert Queen or a Polar Queen. Considering that it's a Barb King Hall of Heroes, the mini boss might be a Desert or Polar Queen. If it's going to be water, the Polar Queen would probably be the best one, because she does have 2 AoE attacks. That's probably what I would put as the mini boss. Of course, I'm speculating here. I'm just making a guess. Wave 4, after you beat the mini boss, wave 4 is going to be light. The light Barbarian King has the highest HP. So dots are probably best for taking those on. Of course, it depends on who he's actually paired up with. Which, if it's a light monster, it's going to be dark. It's going to be a pair of dark monsters paired with him. Depends on what they are, how it's going to affect the battle and what you're going to need to do. Wave 5 is going to be dark, and of course it's going to be paired off with 2 light monsters. The dark one has the highest attack of the Barbarian Kings, and like I said, is tied with wind for the highest resistance. They actually get a resistance boost when they're awakened, so there's going to be a challenge to actually maybe some debuffs put on them for dotting or defense breaking, or possibly even stunning. Then you have the boss wave. The boss wave is going to be a water Barbarian King, of course. More than likely, the first wave will be paired off with a fire and a wind Barbarian King. So be prepared for that. As for what monsters you probably want to take with you when you go through here, AoE hitters. Anything that hits a lot of targets. If you're early game, you probably have a Lapis, the Water Magic Knight. Take advantage of her. All 3 of her, two of her moves hit all monsters, and 1 of her moves hits 4 monsters. So if you're down to like maybe two monsters left in the wave, that her second skill is going to hit both those monsters hit twice. So healers are probably going to be helpful as well. Anyone who can cleanse is going to be great. Delphoid could actually be beneficial and hurt you at the same time. Delphoid does have a cleanse and an immunity, and so that's going to be helpful. The hurtful part is probably going to be her second skill. Her second skill actually is a skill cooldown attack. So if she does a skill cooldown on one of the Barbarian Kings, then of course all 5 of them have that speed boost and HP recovery while that moves on cooldown, while that third skill's on cooldown. So the man would keep that in mind. Considering that most of these monsters are going to be built for attack, any attack break monsters, Briand, the Wind Death Knight, is going to be good. He does have an AoE attack break. Also has a revive. Briand's kind of a staple for most of the high-end Hall of Heroes because he can revive a monster if they die. Plus he has the AoE attack break. So now it keeps him from hitting you too hard. So I said the monsters are going to be, you got the fire, the wind, light, and dark Barbarian Kings. Those are what you're going to have to deal with. And like I said, I've gone over them in the video, so you have an idea of what you have to contend with. Of course, like I said, there's going to be dots from all of them. We have brands from a couple of them. Also got a chance for stuns. So, and of course, there's a chance for them to recover HP to themselves as well. So they may be hitting hard, but there's also a good chance they're going to be healing themselves in skill cooldowns or with their moves. So heal blocking may not be a bad idea. Anyone does a heal block like the Dark Death Knight, which was a Hall of Heroes a couple of months ago. Aria, which was another Hall of Heroes well over a year ago. The Light Succubus. And of course, Diaz is the Dark Death Knight. So anything that heal blocking is probably not going to be a bad idea to bring with you in here as well. You want to be able to heal yourself. You want to be able to cleanse the dots and the brands off your team so they're not targeted. So I said, so you have to find the right balance of the monsters you have as to what you're going to be able to work with to go through here. So, but like I said, once the dungeon's open, of course, I work full time. So when the dungeon's done, when I get home, I will probably run through the first dungeon, and I'll probably go over the monsters as well in there. So at least you get an idea of what you have to contend with, who's paired up with who. Is there a defense breaker paired up with the Dark Ones, as he has the highest attack? Or, since the Wind's got the highest resistance, is there someone there who's going to actually boost his resistance? Maybe there's someone who does immunity on them. So, who knows? But I said I will go over that. I will not be summoning one like I have done, because like I said, I already have one. so there's no need to summon one. So, but at least you'll get to see the floors, you get an idea of what you're going to contend with, and you can actually maybe prepare if you've not already gone through and started attacking the floors already. So, but that's going to be it for this video. If you like it, hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And until next time, have fun. Later.